Hello everybody, thank you for tuning in. I've recorded a nice gameplay, playing some PvP match online using the new Command & Conquer game, which is known by some people as Generals 2, which isn't the official name though, let me clear that out. I'm going to play the a.k.a. Espionage General. It's the new general from the latest October patch. He's got some cool stealth abilities, stealth tanks, dragon tanks, urban assault squads, that's special infantry. What I'm going to try in this about 11 minutes of gameplay is build a few barracks, build a few of the special urban assault infantry and try to crush my opponent, while also trying to get a decent economy, so that if I'll send my units in, I'll still have the money to back up a new army and keep harassing my opponent as much as possible. Since the latest October patch, they updated quite some stuff. As far as I can see, the graphics are a little bit better, the smoke effects, and the Frostbite 3 engine, it's actually pretty nice. I think it's a good thing they use the Frostbite engine. It's the same engine that is basically used in, for example, Battlefield. And everybody knows that on PC Battlefield has pretty good graphics. So for those of you viewers who haven't seen this game yet, please give it a look. It is free to play, so if you'd like to sign up, you can do that on the link in my description, and then eventually you'll get invited. You get the code in your email. You use that code in Origin. It's something like Steam, but it's more of an EA thing. And then you can play this alpha or beta, it depends. If there is any chance you have bought the previous, how do you call it, the Command & Conquer, the Ultimate Collection Edition, which includes a lot of the CNC games from one of the first until now, you'll get earlier access than just randomly signing up without having that package, that special package, just to be clear. Alright, as you can see, I've created a few of the urban assault teams. They're quite strong infantry. You also have a few upgrades. You can give them extra squad member by upgrading later with some more tech, and you can give them some extra armor, and also there's an upgrade available so they have a special stronger weapon when you're garrisoning structures with those characters. This is my second game playing the new general. So far it seems like it's pretty balanced. You have stealth tanks and such, which obviously have quite some advantages, since you can strike, move away, you be stealth, and you cannot kill your tanks in that at that time. The only downside so far that I know is that he doesn't have the big, strong, heavily armored overlord tanks. So if you're fighting an opponent later on in the battle who has stronger and heavier tanks, and you're all cluttered up with good defenses and so on, then this general might not be the strongest one you could possibly choose. The other few units this general has is the basic Gatling tank, which is just a Gatling tank, just like the previous generals, which is pretty decent for air and infantry. Not that big of a deal, not so expensive in game as well. They also have the Dragon Flame tank. That is a tank that isn't available to all the a.k.a. generals in this game. So it's pretty useful if you want to destroy a quick building in the early game. You can use flame tanks for that, they're quite strong. A lot of people don't really use the artillery, which can be made out of the heavy war factory in this game. They're also quite good if someone tries to rush with a pretty big group of tanks. you can use the artilleries to shut down a big group of an army.
Got it. Let's show him what we do.
So another thing I'd like to talk about is that this side also has a Firefly. That's a basic chopper, or anti-ground chopper. I'm sorry, a Firefly is the support chopper, which can use power-ups for your infantry. For example, the urban assault team, to make them a little bit stronger. It's more of a microing. By that I mean using extra clicks in game to improve a larger group of units. With units I mean the urban assault team. So basically my strategy is to build a few units early on in the game. I don't really go for base defenses and such. I'll try to expand after I have a few more units. Just do a little bit of scouting to check if he is expanding or not. If you try to figure out if he is expanding, just send a cheap unit. Try to not get the unit killed, so you still have the scouting unit. If you know exactly how many expansions your opponent has, you can start to get an idea over in a while of how many units you need to produce and which type of units. That's the important thing of scouting. If you don't scout correctly, it could happen that your opponent all of a sudden would rush right into your base and you didn't even see it coming. Well, as you see in game, I've expanded quite some already. I have about 4 oil derricks scattered across the map, and I'm also building an extra supply center down in the map in the middle to the left and right here. When you build a supply center, the maximum efficient trucks you can have which pick up supplies is, for the a.k.a. is 5, and you'll start out with just 1 if you build an extra one. You start out with 2, with the first one that you spawn in when you just start the game. And you have to build 3 more for this side. For the GLA you get 3 workers, and for the EU side you get 1 chopper. It's different basically for every side. Another thing I'd like to say is, which they changed around, is instead of having a construction yard, you now have the supply center, and the supply center builds the, in this case, the cranes or the bulldozers or the builder slaves. The GLA is slaves. And after that you can make a command center. The command center will do a few things. The first thing the command center will do is give you some power. Instead of building a power plant, you could also build a more expensive command center, and that will give you some power. Another thing which is considered more important is that the command center will hide buildings on the radar when you build them. With oil derricks scattered across the map, it'll mean that they keep him hidden from the enemy unless he scouts. If you do not build a command center when you're expanding, the opponent can still see, even though it's still in the black fog on the map, can see your color there, so he knows you're expanding over there. Most are likely, when you're a decent opponent will see that, you'll send a few units and kill all your stuff right there.
Let's move.
Another thing I haven't tested out very much yet is that this side can create a holographic army. Well, I haven't had any use for that yet, but I can see the point of it. Just using your player power to make your army look bigger, or try to attack from a side to which you wouldn't expect, so you would send his units. Well, that could be quite decent. at this time in the match I'm building more harvesters. I'm getting the lead in the game by a big time. So I started to pop out a few more stealth tanks to try and crush my opponent, which will at this point in the game probably don't last very long anymore, because I already have upgraded Tech up urban assault squads, which you can see shoot down buildings pretty quick, but they're rather expensive as well in game, so you cannot just spam them right in the beginning of the game. Well, I'll try to attack him from down below, kill his oil derrick, put one of my men in the unoccupied building, so if he by any chance had a small army hidden over there because he didn't surrender yet, I would still destroy his oil derrick by taking over just one building, a civilian building over there, and try to take out his oil derrick. At this time the video is starting to get to an end. I would like to tell you guys thank you for tuning in. This was my first real-time PvP match with commentary recorded afterwards. If you want to see more PvP match, 2v2, 1 versus 1, more versus the computer, specific generals I could choose from, please let me know which one you'd prefer. Try to figure it all out, and I'll try to show you guys. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like down below, and I'll hope to see you guys next time. In the end of this video you can see how many points I get for a win and so on.